Hi folks, okay. It's still Sunday the 7th of July. The link up here in blue will be in the description as usual. I encourage you to go and read this yourself. I can't believe that I'm bringing a story like this to you. How many times have I mentioned, sometimes just in passing, oh there goes another guy driving down my road at 100 mile an hour. In one of these stupid hatchback with the big exhausts, you know. The moronicness of it all is baffling. Last week, I think it was, I did a story on a wee boy. I think we called him Iron Man. I can't remember his first name because his mother nicknamed him that because he was so brave. He's only 10. He had to been hit by a hit and run driver in Pollock. Left the wee guy lying there. Did the police find him? They done that? No. So here we are again. It was always going to happen. It's going to happen at my bit as well. It says here, a wee girl 15 is killed in a hit and run by a driver racing another car on the wrong side of the road. So just let me say that again. A 15-year-old girl has been killed in a hit and run by an absolute bampot driving and racing another car while he was on the wrong side of the road. Now, this is what happens when the police no longer target motorists. This is what happens when the traffic police sit at the side of the road just waiting for their camera to go off. You know, because they've got cameras now, and the cameras are automatic number plate recognition cameras. And they're tied into the database. It's all data now. Tied into the database. So the police are just sitting there, cutting their nails, having a chat. And the computer clocks a registration, and the database says, that's not getting any tax. And they go, oh Jesus Christ, that more's not getting any tax. Put the lights on, chase after it. But just round the corner for them, there'll be a couple of BAMs battering up and down with motors with no exhausts. But it sounds like no exhausts. And you let them run about like that, they eventually think the police don't do nothing. Let's have a race. Let's run from my corner to the bottom of the road and see if I can get up to 70. No police about. It says here, the mob are appealing for information after a girl was struck in Paisley, Scotland. And that's just up the road for Pollock, where the wee boy I just spoke about was knocked down, left in the street to die. And that's the wee lassie's stuff. These people are vermin. The people driving the cars I'm talking about. I know you automatically thought I meant the police there. Right? At times they can seem like vermin, but they're a necessity. We all know they're a necessity. We all know that they've got a hard job at times. We all know that things can be stressful as a cop. But listen, you need to start protecting the communities. You can't just go home to your houses in Stewarton, PC, Plod, and think, that's a great shift tonight there. I dealt with quite a few LGBT, BBE, hate crimes, and a couple of guys shouted at a Muslim guy across the street, go to they two, they white supremacists, you know. Get a grip. A teenage girl has been killed in a horror hit and run in the early hours of the morning. The 15-year-old was with her 4 friends when she stepped into the road and was struck by a vehicle driving at speed in tandem with another car. So we're racing. It happened about 2 AM in Paisley, and apparently the police are investigating. Well, I should certainly hope so. After the collision, the degenerate driver, who hopefully is going to serve a long time in prison, was behind the wheel of a car similar to a VW Polo, got out of the car but then drove away. What a dirty ratbag. The schoolgirl, instead of going across to the wee lassie and trying to help her, get on your scabby mobile and phone an ambulance, you ratbag. The schoolgirl was rushed to Queen Elizabeth University, but all efforts to save her failed and she died. What about her family? Her friends? Oh, everybody all traumatised by her being battered up into the air by your motor, you rat bag. Hope you're listening to this, you rat bag bastard. Debris from the damaged car, including parts of its headlights, could be seen scattered in the road where the teenager was struck. And there's a guy at the scene of the accident. Guy, they're just marking it out. There's a wee lassie's stuff, just lying at the scene. A white Nike trainer lay on the pavement about 20 metres from the handbag. That's her shoe. Specialist police officers trained to investigate collisions could be seen putting down plastic marker cones. Alright. Well, that'll be used in evidence, won't it? So they'll have the area where she was struck and where she landed, and that will give them an idea of the speeds involved, right? That's what that's about. He's marking that. That's GPS positioning. That there will mark the exact GPS position of that marker as it relates to that one, so they can determine the distance. It says 3 bouquets of flowers have been laid near the scene of the accident, the tragedy. Police are appealing for help in tracing the black hatchback and its driver, and described the windscreen as being cracked from the force of the collision. So she was thrown up onto the window. Police Inspector Alan Kelly, Paisley CID, said the young girl was with her 4 friends when she stepped onto the road, and she was hit by a car travelling which seemed in tandem. So look at the distance involved here. Right? Now that would be where she was hit. There, because that's where her stuff is. And there way up here. There could be debris up here. So that's maybe say 30 feet. God's sake. The driver initially got out the car, but then went back in and drove off towards Glenifer Road, Paisley. We know that the car, a small hatchback, possibly a VW Polo, was damaged as a result of the collision. We also know that the black car was on the wrong side of the road and driving beside another car as if racing each other on Glenburn Road. And I would imagine that Glenburn Road then is an area where there's quite a lot of it. And why are the traffic cops never in Glenburn Road then? Because this isn't a first. It says here, I would appeal to the driver of the car to come forward to police and to the occupants of either vehicle involved. Then it says here at the bottom, police have arrested a 20-year-old man following the fatal crash. So I'm hopeful that, and it wasn't a fatal crash, so I'm hoping that is in relation to what we've just discussed, and that the dirtbag is now locked up. And we want to know who the other guy is as well. He shouldn't be driving for at least another 10 years. He should get a minimum ban of 10 years. Alright folks, it's really depressing. Sorry to bring that to you on a Sunday. But this is what's going on in Glasgow. This is how the police are not doing their job. They're coming in and picking up after the crime, after the fact. They're not doing what they should be doing. They're not doing what we're paying them for. Are they in your area? Have you got people flying about your area in cars? Because I know I have. I've got them belting up and down my road, as I said earlier. So I'd be interested to find out if anybody else is experiencing this, because I think it's along with these mental motors with the exhausts. You know, I don't know if they've got half of them. I've got exhausts on them, but I don't get it. Why would you want to drive about with your motor sounding like that? It's just so infantile, just so stupid. It's like when you were a wee Wayne and you were on a wee pedal bike, and you would put one of the wee lollipop sticks between the spokes, so it would go rrrr, rrrr. It's the same mentality, absolute childishness, because that's allowed when you're a wee 10-year-old on a pedal bike. It shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be allowed to drive about the city with your exhaust, basically silencers taking off your motor and up and down the street like a race car. I mean, there was a time when you could do a U-turn in Paisley without getting lifted. That's what Paisley used to be like. What's it like now? This guy's running about with no exhausts, racing each other. The kids getting murdered, killed. You know? Anyway, folks, if you like the content, hit the like button, share it, mind and share it just in case that's not the guy. Share it, let everybody know what's going on, and subscribe. Peace out.